What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 18 of the Casual Millennials podcast. Your co-host, Andrew Kubitz, on the microphone per usual, and joined by the one and only Eric Hess. Eric, how are you?
Doing good. It's been a while since we've done one of these, I feel like.
It has been a couple of weeks since our live podcast where we were able to knock out 3, so I think we earned a little Thanksgiving turkey and some free time. But I'll let you introduce our esteemed guest.
I'm going to let you introduce yourself because I don't know what's your last name.
Oh, well, my name is Joshua Scarver. That's like Carver with the S in front.
There we go.
So Scarver. So that's how we pronounce that. I am the co-owner of Do What You Desire, a lifestyle brand, co-founder of DWYD Gives. Me and my wife specialize in helping the community out and a whole host of other things I've done in my life. So thank you guys for having me. It's appreciated.
Of course.
Thanks for coming on. It's always fun to get new, cool individuals in here to talk about some stuff. So give a little bit of background about yourself, give the couple-minute spiel for people who don't know who you are, where you started from, how you got to where you are.
Ooh, I'm a millennial. I call myself an old millennial. So for all you guys listening, you're talking to an old millennial. Joshua Scarver. JoshuaScarver.com. Go look me up. But I started off doing music. That's how I initially started in my creative career. I was a producer, so you know those beats that you hear, all the people that you like, Timberland, Dr. Dre, Metro Boomin, whoever, that's how I started off. So that was the beginning of my creative career. We found some success as an old group of MCs, like Wu-Tang, like the A$AP Rocky crew. So there was like 7 of us. That disbanded, I stopped for a while, worked my regular job. I hooked back up with my nephew by marriage, also my music partner, David. We started a group called America's Addiction. We started doing crazy stuff. We were like, I won't say that on here, the type of crazy stuff we used to do. We used to throw money on the crowd, things like that. So that's how we built our name up in the city, America's Addiction. Then we created this thing called Do What You Desire, because we looked at all the people that we admire and we were like, what are they doing? What was Jimi Hendrix doing? What was Tupac doing? What was Notorious Big doing? What was all of our favorite artists doing? Favorite creatives, actors? They're doing what they desire. So we created Do What You Desire, which now runs into the lifestyle brand of Do What You Desire, or DWYD. There's like 50 or 60 people that have it tattooed on them, and that's really what I've been pushing. And some charity stuff called DWYD Gives that I do with my wife, Rebecca. So that's really my quick rundown of who I am.
Nice. What does a lifestyle brand mean to you?
A lifestyle brand is something that you actually do. Keyword, people see desire, and you can run with that anyway. Mm-hmm. You can run with that in a negative sense or a positive sense. I try to choose the positive sense, but it's about doing. So when people look at Do What You Desire, a lifestyle is something that you're actually living. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's not just rhetoric. It's not just something that you talk about. It's something that someone can see you being active in. And maybe someone wants to follow it, maybe someone's inspired by it, maybe someone is helped by it. So, to me, that's what a lifestyle brand means to me. Like you guys, I don't know what kind of shoes you have on. I don't know if anybody's wearing.
I don't even know what to tell you. Cole's dress shoes.
Cole's dress shoes. you're in your casual mode. But like
that's right.
People wear Jordans. You have a Patagonia on. I'm sure Patagonia makes you think of like the outdoors. Maybe it identifies with a part of your life. Your lifestyle. So that's what a lifestyle brand is to me.
Oh, it's fair enough. I think it's an interesting question because the word brand gets thrown out a lot nowadays.
Yeah.
Whether it's your personal brand or the brands that you wear. I always find it interesting when you talk to somebody, especially somebody involved in a brand or a lifestyle brand in your case, and what they think about that. So talk to me more about what Do What You Desire is. So it's a lifestyle brand. What does that mean tactically? Like, what can if I want to be a part of this, how do I become part of it?
Well, you're doing it already. You're doing a podcast, both of you. So in essence, I believe you two are doing what you desire. Am I correct?
Trying.
That's it.
Yeah, you're not just trying, you're actually doing what you desire. So to me, it's that brand that, like Nike, just do it. That's what it means. Like I'm assuming these people or stories that I've had would say, I have an example. It's another podcaster called Local First. I met him last year at one of the Milwaukee, events, whatever it was. But he contacted me about 11 months later. and said, I look at your do what you desire. It's this wristband that says always do what you desire. I put it on my counter at home. And I was working my job, and I was like, what do I want to do? What do I desire to do? I want to get back into being a creative. So he said, I looked at that. You get these wristbands all the time. Well, I don't mean anything, but this one actually stuck out to me. So he recreated his Local First podcast. And he's talked to all types of cool creatives like you two do, other business owners. And he said, well, I'm doing what I desire. I'm living that do what you desire lifestyle. I'm able to connect with people, learn from people, and share their stories. So to me, that's a direct example of how you can be involved or how you can identify with the brand.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the biggest thing you think you've learned since you kind of started this whole thing? Not even from the music, maybe just the do what you desire part, and then kind of over the course of as you kind of found yourself.
That you have to have a plan when you're doing things. We do fly by the seat of our pants, but as you do that, you start to learn, because I think everything in life is an experience. So I think that's what I've been taken away from, is like I wrote you guys. I saw what you two were doing. I was like, I have a story to tell. I want to talk about charity and the importance of it, helping other people in the community. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, should I do it or should I not? Nah, screw it, forget it. I'm gonna send you an email. I don't care. Maybe they'll respond, maybe they won't. So an experience is going out there and jumping out on the ledge and taking a shot on something that you believe in, whether it gets swatted down. Because I just believe that, failure just leads you to a success or a win eventually. I just believe the person with the most losses sometimes ends up with the most wins. In real life, not sports. If you lose, you just lose.
Eric, go ahead.
So what was your plan going into actually creating this lifestyle brand? At what point did you say, okay, I'm actually going to make this into a thing?
I think just by doing it, when we said it, people said they liked the way it sounded. It's like, okay, I like that. Desire, that sounds cool. That's interesting. It's not do what you do, it's do what you desire. So I decided to make a t-shirt. We put it on, we advertised, and let people know that, it's DWID, it's do what you desire, this is what it is about. We went out into the community of other creatives and started spreading the word with them. And I think that's really how it was. It was like social proof. You know what I mean? I think that's the word everyone uses, social proof.
Sure.
You see that, you're like, well, that inspires me to keep pushing for it. Even when you do have severe downs and you don't want to do it, or if you take a break from it, you can go back and look on some of the past success that you've had and decide to jump back in it. So I think that was what inspired me to actually do it. And then Nike, I'm a fan of the just do it part. Mm-hmm. And that aspect of Nike and how they use athletes, how they use everyday people, in a sense at the same time, is like, personally you can become successful. I'm not saying you're Michael Jordan or LeBron James, but everyone can do what they desire in some sense. So
one day we'll be there.
You're already there.
We're already doing it.
You're already doing it.
That's right.
You might be right around the corner. You might get it. I don't know what your not an end goal, but what your different goals are. Maybe it's $100,000 sponsorship check. You know what I mean? You might be right there. Never know.
Never know.
Yeah.
That is one thing I think it's interesting. You just got to keep trying at it. You never really know. I mean, you can fail, but at least learn from those failures, right? We kind of talked about that in the past.
Yeah.
So one interesting thing we always have to bring up a little bit, and then we'll let you kind of plug some of your charity stuff before we get too far on here. But I wanted to get a little bit more into Josh, right? So what's one thing that you know now as an older millennial, you call it, right? You take back to your 20 or 19-year-old self. You say one biggest thing you've learned is to have a plan, but what would you tell a 19 or 20-year-old self if you could tell them one thing?
I'm going to be very practical and very lame. I'll say practical Josh, you probably should have saved more of your income. You probably shouldn't have spent your money on things that really don't. I don't know who says that. It's like Gary Vee. You're buying stuff to impress people that don't like you.
Yeah.
Like that really is a big thing. And when you become older millennials, I think you two probably have your head on your shoulder a lot better than what I did. Is that you're going to look back at those type of moments and be like, I should have sat down, or maybe I should have found some type of mentor, or I don't know, not mentor, but someone to model yourself after. You know, maybe 3 or 4 people that you look at and you really take your 20s seriously, in a sense. I know it's your time to explore, but it's also your time to lay your foundation for your life, so that you won't find yourself knocking at like 50 or 60. If you make it that long, hopefully everyone does, and you're doing something that you hate. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be very practical and basic advice. Like, save some money, think about where you want to go in life, start mapping out that plan. Like, you got 12, 13-year-olds doing podcasts and doing YouTube because they're exploring and they're finding success, and they're able to not let societal norms crush their dreams and, you know, crush their ambition to do things that's different from everyone else. So
totally.
yeah,
That's a big, I don't want to say fear of mine, but I guess in a way. I don't want to be 50 or 60 and be like, damn, I regret not doing that one thing, or talking to some person, or, you know, just going to some event.
yeah.
And that holds me back in a way. I don't know. Like, that was a big thing of starting the business I started too. It took a while. Just, you know, like, am I going to regret quitting the job I have a, you know, 9 to 5 that I went to school for? Like, am I going to regret that?
Regret not having insurance.
Right.
You have to go for it.
That's just it. You take the leap, right? You got to bet on yourself at some point.
Yeah, you do.
Whether that's in your 20s or your 60s, at least do it.
I had just off topic.
Yeah.
I saw some type of, I don't know, I can't remember. It's on YouTube. Can't remember the author's name, but he didn't find success until he was like 57. Like, and I guess he had like a father that used to beat the crap out of him.
Sure.
And he started writing in his teen years, in his 20s, and he got some things published, but he quit and worked at the post office. He tried again, quit again, but he always kept writing. And he had something like, you know, if it's in you, you're going to do it whether you find proverbial success or not. But eventually he did find success. Much more after his death, but hey, legacy. So, yeah.
That's true. That's an interesting thought as well, is like, whether you find success or not, you're going to do it because you're usually doing something that you enjoy doing. Like I enjoy writing. I don't publish any of it. I don't do it to make money, right? But I still do it, and I find time when I can to do it, right? So I think it's one of those interesting things that you say, or that you do. But you did mention finding 2 or 3 mentors. Who would be 2 or 3 people that you look to model your life off after? You should have seen that one coming. You lobbed it up like a softball.
I did lob it up. Who do I like? I'm thinking.
That's good. That means we're asking questions.
Like, I thought about this yesterday, and then as I rethink about it, when I'm being asked, I'm like, do I really like these people to model myself after? Because it's being asked right in front of my face now. But I like Jim Rohn. I don't know if you guys, you should be familiar with him. You're in this type of thing. You know, Tony Robbins modeled himself after that, and it's not even the motivation, inspiration thing. Just that, you know, Tony Robbins and a Jim Rohn were practical in their advice. Like, if you go back and sit and listen to their lectures or read their books, you're like, this is actually sound advice that 90% of people just want to do. Like, deciding to take something that you're good at, something you find interesting, and create a podcast. People say it's a lot of podcasts. It's really not. When you look at 6 billion people in the world, it's really not that many people doing it. It's actually a close-knit community, and doing stuff like this can expose you to someone who maybe can help you just by giving them a platform to speak on. Most people like talking about themselves.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like, and sometimes if you're the person who can aggregate listening, you know, you're Barbara Walters, Oprah, Charlamagne the God, I don't know, Gary Vaynerchuk, Lewis Howes, all those type of people, you know what I mean? YouTube. So you're able to gain experience and, you know, probably set yourself 10, 20 steps ahead of the average person. So the 2 I like right now, at this point, I'm gonna go with Jim Rohn, and I'm gonna go with the Tony Robbins, because he's also financially savvy.
True.
It's not just I'm on stage, you guys look at me, get pumped up. It's not, you know, not that. It's just the soundness of the business aspect. And you take all the hoopla out. That's what I like about those two individuals.
I find interesting about all of those individuals because they're all saying relatively the same things with minor variations, especially depending on the topic, right?
Yes.
But it all really depends on who you find you like as an individual. Like some people, like, I really enjoy listening to Gary Vee because he's kind of no bullshit. He's gonna come at you. He's gonna come in fast.
Yes, he is.
And then there's other people who really dislike that. And like Simon Sinek, who's very calm and very laid back and likes to explain everything. And I mean, I enjoy both of them, but they say very similar things.
They do. Like we just saw Gary Vee in Atlanta.
Alpharetta, it was just in Alpharetta,
Yeah, I was at A3C, and he was supposed to talk with a rapper, and I was like, I really don't want to see him talk to a rapper. And this is coming from someone in hip hop. I didn't want to see it, and thankfully the rapper didn't make it, and he was able to just do his thing for an hour, and you gain a lot of insight. Mm-hmm. Like there's Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. Mm-hmm. You got a chance to give him a "Do What You Desire" shirt. Will he wear it? Who knows? Eric, if you're listening, hopefully you rocked it. You know what I mean? If not, you're still doing what you desire. You're still an example of that. He comes at you, like very. You gotta be there.
Like, hey, I listened to the "How Bad Do You Want It" speech. Like I'm a repeat in college, trying to just bang out studying and homework. I mean, it's just what clicks with some people.
Yeah.
And Eric is a good example of someone who really came from nothing.
Yes, he did.
And worked his ass off to get where he is today.
Yes, he did.
So at least he's coming from a sense of like, I did it myself, you can do it too,
Yeah.
That's what I find a little bit hard to believe when people are just like born rich and try to do that,
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like, and I've seen people like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, I worked hard, and not taking it away from anyone's hard work. Because if you have people that can set you in places, that's a great thing. I think that's what all of us would want to do. If you have children, you have little brothers and sisters, you want to, help them get somewhere. You don't want to start completely from the bottom because sometimes you never move up, unfortunately. But I've seen people like that, like their mother and father were cool with the president. Like you're friends with the president. I mean, Lord. I mean, of course. Like, go ahead. You can do anything you want. Then compared to Eric Thomas, who really came from the bottom of the bottom. So, yeah.
We'll have some more questions, but I would love to hear more about the charity that you guys are doing. Dive into that a little bit and tell us more about what you do and how anybody who wants to get involved can.
All right, so DWYD Gives is the charity aspect of Do What You Desire, or DWYD. That's co-founded by me and my wife, Rebecca. And what we did, we started about 8 years ago as a party on Brady Street. Her cousin needed some toys and some books for children at this place called the Milwaukee Child Advocacy Center. And what they do is they work with children who've unfortunately been victims of abuse and neglect in our city, which is really like a big problem that no one talks about. Like it's kind of swept under the rug. So anyway, we had a pajama party. 40 people brought toys and books. And we were like, well, we're gonna keep doing this. And my wife had the personal connection because her cousin works directly with it. Me, thankfully, my mother didn't allow anyone to abuse me or anything like that, but I do have family members and I know people that come from that, unfortunately, and it's something that they're gonna struggle with for the rest of their life. So that's, I identify with them, those children and those teenagers who went through that, even though I didn't experience it. So we kept going, year 2, 1 location. Year 4, 4 locations. Year 6, 8 locations. The 7th year last year, we had 14 locations, and now we're in our 8th year. We have 30 different businesses and organizations who are helping us in collecting toys, books, sports items like footballs and basketballs for these children. Last year we collected 8,000 items with the help of the community. We weren't on any podcast until now. We weren't on TV, we weren't in any major newspapers. This is all done via word of mouth and social media. It's me and her. We go drop all the barrels off at the location. She wraps the barrels. I do the correspondence with all the different companies. I talk to people who want to donate. People send pictures of them donating at the places. We go pick it up. We go take it down to the Milwaukee Child Advocacy Center. And we pick that and stuck with that because we know that these children are actually getting the donations. You know, a lot of charity things, you don't know where the stuff is going. We do know that it's going to those over 4,000, probably 5,000 kids, which is why I said the amount's so high, because they see like 10 to 15 kids a day, probably 30 to 50 that are going in and out the foster system. So basically we collaborate with businesses, and that's how we do it. Like I have a list. I can say the list later, or you can put it somewhere else, but it's a very long list.
Yeah, we can post the list on Instagram for sure if you want. That way you don't have to read it all off.
Yeah, it's a lot, guys. It's a lot.
Which is awesome. That shows how much hard work you guys put into it, right? And how much businesses are willing to just work with you guys and give a little bit of square footage for a good cause like that, because it's not even anything on their part, right?
Yeah, no, it's like we make it easy for businesses too. Like we wrap the barrel, we provide your marketing material. We come from that type of background, and you're able to help us, you know, in the community. You're able to post it on your Facebooks or your Instagrams and tell your customers to bring in new toys and new and gently used books like Fashion Angels. They donated like 3,000 items last year. Like we had to fill up 2.5 cargo vans full of stuff. Half price books, because I believe in books. You know, I guess that's my semi-nerd side. Is I like to read as a child, and I still like to read. They've donated thousands of books over the past 3 years. You have some like long-standing businesses like Downtown Kitchen, Cranky Al's, the donut place, a flower shop, and then recently we just got Motor, which is across the street from the Harley Davidson Museum.
Nice.
They filled like 2 barrels already, and they're giving 15% off.
That's amazing.
And they put us on their site. Like, they don't have to do that. It's Harley Davidson. Like, they don't have to do that. This is just pure word of mouth and pure people power. So, which is what I find intriguing, that you can get people involved and not be all over the place on the front of a newspaper. So.
And this is all local too, right?
Yeah, this is all local.
Helping local kids too?
Yep, it's all helping kids in the Milwaukee and surrounding area. We've gotten help from different places. Like once we've had people, we have people who support the music side of what I do and the brand side. They'll send in money. We'll go shopping on their behalf. And that can come as far away from California to where else? Indiana or wherever. But all the donations that we're collecting are in the Milwaukee area. And in a couple instances, we have got out a few to the UP area, Michigan. It should be Wisconsin. I don't understand why it's the UP, but yeah, we have sent some stuff there as well. So
nice. And if a business who's listening wants to get involved, how can they reach out?
Well, you can reach out by, you can email me, Josh at dwydgives.com, or visit www.dwydgives.com, or look for that on Facebook as well. Thankfully, we've had 2,000 people like the page, and people are active on it. They're sharing it. They're listening to podcast interviews. They'll be listening to this one. I'll make sure of it. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you were able to plug that. I'm glad to learn about it as well myself. So I'll make sure to get out and do some donating as well.
Awesome.
But I would love to hear more about the nerd side of Josh. Because I don't know if reading is considered a nerd side, depending on what you like to read. But let's hear about it. What's on the bookshelf?
I like a lot of self-development type of books.
Okay.
I'm with you there.
Yeah, I'm into that type of stuff. Like I said, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, your classics, your Thinking Real Riches, your Les Browns, things like that. I won't even discuss that other type of stuff I used to read as a teenager. Well, yes, I will. I don't care. If you're ever looking for interesting crime type of things, look up Iceberg Slim and Donald Goines.
Okay.
That's back in the 60s and 70s. That's out of the, what do you call that? Like the black crime area. They made a lot of interesting stuff. They inspired Ice-T and Ice Cube. That's where they got their name from. Iceberg Slim. So that's the type of stuff I used to read on occasion. I find myself delving more into YouTube and falling down the YouTube algorithm of different talks and different.
It can be dangerous.
It can.
Yeah, it is. It's very dangerous. It's like I want to stop listening to this stuff, but I can't. I don't even watch TV. I haven't like sat down and actually watched television and YouTube. Watch TV lately.
Yeah.
I listen to football now.
Technically, I just watched The Irishman, so I mean.
I just saw that too.
So good.
Very good movie. Yeah. See, and that's another thing. Look up Al Prophet. He did a thing about The Irishman like a year ago.
Okay. Check it.
And then it's skyrocketed, so it has like about 1 million views. He's a very good. I'm into that type of stuff.
Sure.
Crime documentary stuff that's on YouTube. He's one of my favorite people to listen to. And check out his documentaries if you want something on the mafia or street gangs. I'm into history.
You're getting deep in that YouTube rabbit hole.
Yeah, I am very deep in that.
It was funny. Ari Shaffir was actually just on Joe Rogan's podcast, and Ari said he was trying to see if the YouTube algorithm was real, and so all he did was just Google like videos of golden retrievers, and it took like 2 weeks, and then that was the only thing on his homepage of like cat videos and funny puppy videos. Where before it was like MMA and all the other stuff that you whatever watches.
Yeah, those are directly like the same algorithm. Google and YouTube.
Yeah, they
It's
are.
just weird like how that works, you know.
It is crazy.
Yeah, watch what I told you is gonna pop up on your guys' phones. Tonight.
Yeah.
I always go incognito when I'm like gonna YouTube something I don't want to pop up in my algorithm. Like I'm just gonna like how to do something. Like I don't need any how to videos. But I need to know how to do this. Just go in that incognito mode.
Yeah.
Oh man. Any other questions you want to ask?
You're asking great questions right now.
Yeah,
Did you go to college for anything, or how did you get started and stuff?
I did go to college. I did not finish. Did not be like me. I went to UW Milwaukee. I was going for marketing. I did not finish that degree, unfortunately. But now you have a thing called YouTube University.
Yep.
You can learn a lot. You don't have to spend $80,000 to learn. And from what I'm reading, companies like Google and Apple are caring more about your skills and what you actually can do.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you can build a website, if you know how to use Google AdWords, if you know how to do Facebook marketing or Instagram marketing or keywords like that, those are probably the skills that they're looking for. These are probably the skills that you're more hands-on doing versus someone in college who may be learning from theory. I'm not sure, but that's what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but I did go to college. When I was in the 5th grade, I won a spelling bee at Kilbourne Elementary. I believe I beat the 6th grader.
Nice.
I cannot remember the word, but next year I lost. I lost my title. I came in 2nd.
How come?
I have no.
Did you just slack off and went studying enough?
No, I think they really hit me with a word I didn't know how to spell because
Okay.
they hit you with the options like use it in a sentence.
Yeah.
Like, and I ask that every time just to be like ultra sure. But yeah. What was the question you guys asked? What's it?
What were we talking about? We were talking about whether you regret going to college or not.
Oh,
Whether
yeah.
you wish you had finished it.
Okay. This is where I wish I would have, like I said, the plan.
Mm-hmm.
The plan aspect. I wish I would have looked at what I was good at and tried to do that on the side. Going to school or maintaining a real job at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like the theory I've been hearing from a guy I listen to is that if you have your 9 to 5, keep it and do your business or your side hustle and build that up until it becomes a hindrance with the job portion. But that in the college sense, I wish I would have just found marketing and really talk to people. Really would have went in there, like you said, go to events. I mean, it was a different age back then, but go to the events, connect with people, express what I want to do, and put it out into the esoteric universe. And probably things would have happened a lot sooner. At least that's what I believe. That's what I would like to say. But you can't live with too many regrets. So.
Do you think if you would have figured it out sooner, you would have been as prepared for it? Because I think there is some level of maturity that comes with obviously age, but when it comes to the point of when you're actually ready to do something, do you think you could have handled everything that you guys are doing at a younger age?
Yes. because that's the experience thing. You know, when you have experiences, it prepares you to handle more tasks. You know, it just puts you in a position to be ready because you've already experienced things. Like you run a business, I'm sure you experience things on a daily that you didn't experience 3 years ago. And then 3 years from now, when that comes to you, like I already know kind of how to react to this because I've experienced it. And same thing, like if you have hopefully you never have a podcast guest that's like drunk on your microphone. You probably kick them out of the studio, you know what I mean? Because you've had sound-minded people in your podcast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, preparation prevents poor performance. So,
That's just past my cross-country high school coach used to tell me that.
He just had flashbacks. One thing I always like to do is ask this as we kind of round this out here. Any questions that you want to ask us or anything that you want to get off your chest apart from one with the microphone on?
I'm not an angry individual, really. I'll go punch on a boxing bag in the basement, a heavy bag, so I don't have anything I want to get off my chest like that. But I like to ask you two, what inspired you to hop into the podcast world and start talking to cool and interesting people?
I'll definitely start here because what it was for me was Andrew asking me, and that was literally it.
Yeah, so I guess in theory I technically had the idea for this podcast first. So I've been doing a podcast for around 2 years now, so I actually do another one that's solely focused on the Milwaukee Bucks. It's called the Bucks Leading Radio.
Nice.
And I really enjoyed it, and I know it has a very niche market because sports podcasts themselves I think are hard and only certain people like to listen to them as it is. And then on top of that, it's only about the Milwaukee Bucks, so then you just kind of shrink your market there even more. And I wanted to do something that had a broader audience and potential to take off for sponsors, for potentially income or anything else that could come out of it. And I love talking to cool and interesting people because I think that you can learn a lot when you talk to new people. Somebody you've never met before, or somebody doing something completely different than you. You can take things that they're doing and you can apply them into your own life.
Yes.
It's just like listening to a Gary Vaynerchuk or Tony Robbins. They are living the complete opposite end of the spectrum that we are.
This is true.
But they are still doing things that we in our own lives can take, whether it's at 100% or maybe only 1% of what they're doing. So that's why I went to Eric, because we went to college together.
Nice.
Knew we owned a marketing agency. I knew I sucked at marketing my other podcast, at really putting in the time on how to do content. And I knew he could do some of that stuff, as well as I know you wanted to start a podcast. So I thought we could make a good pair, and that's how this one was born.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you two are doing what you desire.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. You're my new spokesman. No.
Where can people find you on the internet? Is it at DWYD?
Yep, at DWYD Gives is what I'm pushing right now. That's where you can find all the charity information, the 30 different businesses and organizations that are helping us help the community. You can go to dwydgives.com. You can type it in on Instagram and find it. You can type in DWYDJosh on Instagram, is how you'll find me. Or go visit joshuascarver.com. That's another thing. You all should have your own domain names. That's just my one hand of advice. I think everyone should buy one and should have it even if you don't use it. But so that's how you can find me online.
There you go. Eric, where can people find you?
Good old at Eric_S22.
Nice. And then I'm at Jakubitz, at JAKUBICZ on Twitter. It's our most active. But you can find me, Andrew Jakubitz, everywhere else on the internet. Just Google me, you'll find all of my pages. And then the podcast, which if you're listening for the first time, we appreciate it. You can find us on Instagram at Casual Millennials Podcast, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, the Casual Millennials Podcast, and then the casualmillennialspodcast.com. So we appreciate you listening. If you do enjoy it, check out the rest of the episodes. If you are already an active listener, tell people about us. It's the best way that we can get known. DWYD Gives is the perfect example of word of mouth and the power of Milwaukee, and how they can get to so many places. And we would love to get to all the ears in Milwaukee and farther. So appreciate you listening. Hope you had a good holiday, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.